In case you hear noises around the flat, people are back now. Easter's over. So recently, humanity's been back to the moon recently, so that's exciting. It's not for naught. We didn't land on the moon, but we visited it, and the shuttle passed around the moon, through the dark side of the moon, saw the other side, lost communication for a bit, but then emerged safe and has landed. Because I'm very passionate about space travel, and the Artemis 2 came back. It's safe. Everybody is alive. Nobody got stuck up there. Boeing didn't get another class of astronauts stuck in space. I don't think they'll ever be trusted with astronauts ever again. Humanity has gone 57 years without going back to the moon, and we managed to circle it. I'm not sure what the implications are for this mission. However, the last time I was this hyped about space travel and technology and stuff like that, it was the James Gunn telescope had launched, and all the mirrors came out perfectly. It was great. I was sciencing, I was peer reviewing, I was fact checking like my life depended on it. I was making this face a lot while watching the news. But then, quickly, through my scroll of news and any scrap of information I could get about this project, was an article written in The Guardian by a woman called Zoe Williams, and it made me angry. The premise of the article was Zoe thinks that humanity doesn't deserve to go to space, and I think she's wrong. Zoe Williams is a mainstream journalist who writes for the article The Guardian, and she's responsible for absolute coal like this and this and also this. She's basically rage bait, and goddamn, I fell for it. I know we're not supposed to judge based on appearances, but the thing is, from this picture of Zoe's face, I know three things. One, her favorite wine is rosé. Two, her favorite TV program is A Place in the Sun. And for those who are unfamiliar, it's a show about buying a holiday home, second house, beachfront property. And number three, she spends all of her disposable income on package holidays to Spain. Now, I know that sounds very mean, but she was disrespectful to the Artemis mission, so I think it's. So, without further ado, let's go next door. Let's see what Zoe has to say for herself. Hey, gang. I thought we would like to, you know, go on the couch and read this article. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read it, I'm going to abbreviate it, and then I'm going to tell you why this is a load of horseshit. Okay, it starts as is. It is absolutely self evident to me that space exploration is pointless. Bold statement. The more urgent crisis is besettling this planet we live on, the more pointless it becomes. I can see why people get excited about the 1960s, back when the world was young and we still thought there might be hope for green people out there. Who wouldn't want to meet them? Most serious opinion, however, is now that it's settled on me, where is everybody? The paradox, the Fermi paradox of the 1950s. If there is intelligent life everywhere, why isn't it not made contact? There is nothing out there except planets infinitely less beautiful than the ones we live on. Can I just say, sure, it's a bit upsetting to me that aliens haven't made first contact just yet. You know, we're ringing the phone and the phone is ringing off the hook, and we're desperately waiting for someone to pick up the phone. All I can say is, Zoe, why are you giving up? Why are you giving up hope so easily? What's wrong with you? Haven't you heard of faith? All that seems pretty uncontroversial, and I almost never mention it except for when astronauts yet again pointlessly go into space. As with the last moon mission, here's what I've noticed. People get really annoyed and have lots of opinions, way more, I don't know what that word is, yet none of them attract the same ire. Everyone's annoyed for a different reason. Some I think are deliberately setting out to ruin the festivity, like you, Zoe. You're killing the vibe. Not even like a week before they're due to come back, you're already making this article shitting on these astronauts. I'm opposing innovation and modernity, which I am absolutely not, which you absolutely are, Zoe. They point to a series of discoveries that would have been made without space-based wonderists. Most of which seem to involve finding better ways to kill each other, and they mourn the kind of world I want to live in, where nobody can see beyond their own horizon. Can you see how kind of ironic that is? You're the one saying people can't see beyond a horizon, yet you're the one saying let's not go into space because there's nobody in it and it's pointless to me. It just speaks to a type of person who has all their needs met and beyond. Someone who doesn't really have any wonder or merriment about the society we live in. And you're just like, well, I'm doing fine. Why do we need to go into space? Who cares? It's like a certain pessimism that I can kind of... I'm pessimistic and cynical. But when it comes to this, I really want, without any shadow of a doubt, at all costs necessary, to there be space exploration. Some people think I dislike the astronauts themselves, which couldn't be more wrong. I'm sure they're great. They certainly seem wholesome 100. Some people think I'm being a Scrooge, which is what I think. Resenting the financial outlay because my soul has no poetry in it. That is better than I could put it myself, Zoe. You are a Scrooge. It's a paradox, it's not a delicious one, that moaning about the waste of energy that space travel has turned into quite a significant waste of my own energy. Seriously, NASA, can you not just knock it off? Hasn't the US, of all nations, got bigger things to worry about? So Zoe's arguing that we should shut down space exploration because she finds it exhausting to read about it on the news, which is batshit insane to me. You can inhabit the Luddite, no imagination corner of the world, and you can berate these astronauts and people who send other people into space. I know I'm not a fan of Elon Musk. Nobody is, or Jeff Bezos, but why are they the ones putting people into space? Why aren't governments taking control of space travel? If we let billionaires go into space by themselves, then we get Planet Starbucks, we get the Microsoft Galaxy, we get the very things that, was a joke in Fight Club. Soon, corporations will be the ones naming things in space, and it's going to be horrible. That's why the government needs to foot the bill for rocket ships, because without governments in space, we're going to get billionaires running space, and I can't think of a more existential threat than that. Obviously, when we become a type 3 civilization in the future, they're not really going to be everyone's going to be in space. You're going to have Richard Branson, who owns Virgin Galactic, creating a space Concorde, sending into space. I think the best word I would describe for these people is called the peanut gallery. These are people who sit on the sidelines and heckle like Statler and Waldorf, and basically kind of critique anybody earnestly trying to better themselves or even trying to set forth a better society. Like the people who told the Wright brothers that it's impossible for a man to fly. Those people just don't want, they're too, their job makes it way too easy for them to just give up. You know what I mean? So that's it for the article. Now let's move on to the video on X.
About like there's a movement of ex-astronauts which holds that when you actually go into space, all you really realize is how the infinite beauty of the Earth and how there's nothing else like it. Everything out there is dead. everything down here is alive, everything out there is grey and black, everything down here is green and blue. It's just exquisitely beautiful, and we're wasting all this energy and time and technology and thought going.
So in this first argument, Zoe thinks that there is a community of ex-astronauts that regret going into space. I, for the life of me, can't find this, so I don't know where she's dredging that one up from. And if she's wrong, I don't think they're regretful about going to Earth. They're just so intensely enthralled with the beauty of seeing Earth from an outside perspective that they come to love it more. I think you're just confused, Zoe. There's just no other feeling, and they come back with an appreciation for Earth and not a need to slag it off and say, "Oh, everything's dead. There's no point in actually going." Oh, I'm an astronaut. Where do we go when we die? Mysteries of the universe will puzzle me.
Space, we get new innovations, we bring them back to kill each other with. It's true.
Now, this is a very weird one. She claims that we go into space and develop weaponry and bring it back to Earth and kill each other with it. That is probably the strangest take I think I've ever heard. And the way she slurs her speech when she says it's true, she's definitely been hitting the rosé. Uh, I'm not even going to bother arguing with that one. Just saying, what? What are we bringing back to kill each other with, Zoe? And then after that, she's a broken record. She just says it's a waste of time. It's a waste of resources. We shouldn't go into space because it's a waste of time, a waste of resources, and waste of money. That's it. It's really, I think this opinion came out of nowhere. I don't really believe it is much of merit, but there it is. Guardian hates the moon, April 2026. You heard it here first. I feel depressed after reading that article. I don't know why I subjected myself. I just needed to get out my feelings of rage and indignant anger to the fact that Zoe believes that she should dictate humanity's progress and keep us on this ball to fester and climb over each other instead of spreading out like an organism should. She has no drive to survive because all of her needs have been met. She's a pretty veteran columnist from The Guardian, so I don't think that she has many needs. I think her needs just is just spew venom and sludge into the general society, and I think she should resign immediately. Actually, well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it. The Guardian hates the moon and would rather humans stay in the dirt, writhing around on each other, instead of finding out that our sustenance awaits us amongst the stars. Pretty disappointing for a major outlet. You do realize that a lot of people read you, Guardian. What would you say if a future astronaut got dissuaded from your article? They read that you're pretty against space travel, so they decided to say, "What's the point? What's the point with space travel? There's no way I can make money off of it." That's not the point. The government is supposed to fund space travel, and it's not supposed to give them a return. And that point about going into space, developing weaponry, and bringing it down here, that's some really concerning opinions because it's based on nothing. Humanity goes into space, I can count on one hand, maybe less than that every year. Not very frequently. So, what are we bringing down to fight each other with? I do agree that humanity should stop fighting each other, but you're wrong when you say that we go into space for the explicit purpose of bringing sci-fi technology back to kill each other with. Artemis 2 was a phenomenal accomplishment for mankind, and I wish that we had more stuff. We haven't been to the moon in 50 years, and the second that we get close, everyone's saying it's pointless and it's a waste of time. Listen, I understand, I kind of understand, which is why I want to offer up my own suggestions about space engineering and stuff like that. I think I can solve climate change. All we need to do is build a laser on the moon, focus it towards the sun, and then shoot the sun, and that will push it away a bit, and then the earth will cool down, and everything will just be hunky dory down here. And if you're opposed to me building a laser on the sun, well, you're just a glass half empty kind of person. So, shame on you, I guess. Just in case you don't know me, I would consider myself definitely 100% a religious man. Okay, I believe in God, but I also have faith that aliens, extraterrestrials are out there and they're waiting to meet us. What we need to do as a species is keep beaming our entertainment and our beautiful art into the universe for the aliens to collect. The aliens, they're missing out on episodes of House, Grey's Anatomy, Breaking Bad, The Sopranos, and other TV shows like this. So I think humanity just needs to keep going on the space front, really. Needs to stop dragging its heels and become a Type 3 civilization I know it can be. Before I go, I want to give you some words of wisdom from the best president in the United States history, John F. Kennedy. Legendary president, American president. And in this speech, right before he was assassinated by those aliens, he was instructing Americans to go to the moon. And I think The Guardian can learn a few lessons from that. So have at it. And then I'll see you very soon.
But why, some say, the moon? Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why, 35 years ago, fly the Atlantic? Why does Rice play Texas? We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win, and the others too.